Hi guys, welcome back to another fall reading vlog. I am so excited to be reading some cozy mysteries and thrillers in this vlog. We're gonna bake, we're gonna read fun thematic books, and I can't wait. So let's hop into picking some books out. So just this morning, recently subscribed to Book of the Month. Like I gave in. I've just been seeing it on YouTube for such a long time. I've been wanting to subscribe for like a year. I finally gave in and subscribed. So my book for October just appeared, and I definitely want to read this because I'm so excited. This was on my most anticipated fall thriller releases, which I'll link above if you want to check out 15 thrillers that I'm very excited about that are releasing this fall. It's called When I'm Dead by Hannah Morosi, and I'm really excited. This is actually a pretty thin thriller. It's not super long. It's just about 300 pages, so a little shorter than my average thriller that I read, but this book is basically about a mother who is a medical examiner, and her name is Rowan, which I love. It's one of my favorite names ever. I don't know why, I just love the name Rowan. I think it's so beautiful. But basically one night she's called in to do like a medical examination, and it's actually for her daughter's like best friend, like their body. And she's really freaked out, and she tries to get a hold of her daughter Chloe, and that's when her and her husband discover that her daughter Chloe is missing and they don't know where she is. They start to dig into her whereabouts and stuff, and they start to realize they know less about their daughter than they thought. So I'm very excited. I think this sounds really cool. I'm imagining this is, I don't know, her daughter's necklace maybe on the cover, and yeah, this just sounds so good. So I'm very excited to be reading that. Another one I know right off the bat I want to read is Witch Trial by Kate Conte. This is a full moon mystery. So we have this cozy mystery. It is a supernatural cozy. So this takes place in North Harbor, Connecticut. Our main character is Violet, and she has recently learned that she is a witch. So she's learning some witchy abilities from like her mother, her sister. Like she's just stepped into this, and she also has a black cat familiar, Xander, who is right here on her cover. And this involves two mysteries. One, she's being investigated by like the Magic Council, and there's like a reporter who's on her case. So she's trying to figure out why. And then the other one is that one of her crystal shop customers ends up going missing and then ends up being a murder victim. So she's digging into the murder mystery. So I'm very excited for this. I did learn this is actually, I think, book 2 in the series, so I'm going to be jumping in, but I'm excited. I think this will be nice and spooky. I knew I was saving this for October because this is just the perfect spooky, cozy book for October. I mean, look at this cover. How could this not? It's just perfect. So I'm very, very excited for this one. And let's take a quick look at my TBR cart and pick some other ones. Okay, so top shelf, I have a couple of library books right now. I don't have too many checked out, but I do think I want to read this one. This one's brand new. This is Peg and Rose Stir Up Trouble, and I've been waiting for this book to come out. I'm so excited. I was on hold at my library. This is book 2 in the Senior Sleuth mystery series, and it involves Peg and Rose, who are sister-in-laws, and they both have very different personalities, and the brother/husband that connects them, it has passed away, but they start to rekindle some kind of begrudging friendship in the first book, and I loved it so much. But this book involves Rose basically convincing Peg to go on an online date, and then the date actually goes well, but unfortunately he ends up being found murdered, and they're back on another murder case. So I'm very excited for this. I've recently read Vera Wong's Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Sutanto, and I loved it, and I found out she actually does thrillers as well. So I'm really interested to see. I don't think I've ever read a cozy mystery author's thriller before, so I'm kind of curious to see how this is gonna go. I don't know, but this one basically involves a writer, and she has a best friend that apparently is worth killing for, and they're kind of going down their dark past together. I don't know much about it. I don't want to spoil it for myself, so I'm really excited to see where this goes. I think last but not least, I'm actually going to pick one from over here because I have a couple books I'm still working on over here, and I've been waiting to read this, but this is the Clue mystery. It's a young adult mystery series, and this is In the Study with the Wrench, which is the second Clue mystery by Diana Peterfriend, and this is based on the actual Clue board game and the characters in it, and it's reimagined where there's like a boarding school. It's very atmospheric, and we have each student who we read their perspective from, who's a part of the Clue gang. So you have, Peacock, you have Plum, you have Scarlet, you have Mustard, etc. So I really enjoyed book 1. The mystery was fairly easy to solve, but I'm just looking for a good time. I just want the fun, I want the clue, I want the themes, so I think this will be a fun one to round our picks out with. Okay, so quick look, we have In the Study with the Wrench, I'm Not Done With You Yet by Jessie Q. Sutanto, Peg and Rose Stir Up Trouble, Witch Trial, so for our supernatural bit, and then When I'm Dead, which is a much anticipated thriller for me. So we have 2 thrillers, 2 cozies, and then like 1 young adult mystery series, which it's not quite like a cozy mystery, but it's definitely not violent, so if that's your taste, you'd probably like this series as well. So I'm very excited for that. We have like 3 kind of classic mysteries. We have 3 mysteries, 2 thrillers, and I'm so excited. We're gonna do some baking, we're gonna do some fun fall stuff, so let's hop into it. Alright guys, so I'm going to give you guys an update while baking some pumpkin chocolate chip cookies, and I am now nearly 200 pages into When I'm Dead, so about 2/3 of the way into the book. I am still really enjoying this book. It's been flying by really well. I'm really enjoying learning about each character's perspective. So again, we're reading from the mother, the father, and the next door neighbor's perspective during this, and I feel like the author does a really great job of differentiating each voice. Like I feel like they each have a very solid voice where I would know whose perspective I'm reading from without looking at the title for the chapter. So I really like that. These cookies are just really good. I will flash a little screenshot of the recipe on screen and I'll try to link it down below. I've had this recipe for a while, so I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but I will do my best to find the original author. But these are delicious. They are very soft cookies. You do want to let them bake the full time, 8 to 10 minutes. I usually do more like the 9 to 10 minute range, and then I let them sit on the baking tray for another like 10 to 15 minutes after they're pulled out of the oven to kind of finish baking, because they will look underbaked. But then once they've kind of settled on that cooking sheet and you've let them like bake a little bit longer outside the oven, they're just perfect. They have a really nice soft consistency. They're very moist cookies because of all the pumpkin you're adding to their batter, but I really like them. It's just like a soft pumpkin flavor. It's not too crazy in your face, and for anyone who's paying close attention to the recipe, I do replace pumpkin pie spice with all cinnamon just because of a sensitivity for someone I'm making them for, but these cookies are really good. I highly recommend. I think it's just a really delicious soft cookie for the fall time. I always enjoy making them at least once for the season. But back to the book, I'm really enjoying it. I think the characters are super interesting. We've had some interesting twists and turns. I like seeing the relationships between the characters as we learn more throughout the book and as they're interacting with each other and reading from each other's perspective and what they're thinking about the other character, and then just the mismatches sometimes. It's really interesting. And yeah, I recommend this so far. I'm really enjoying it. I'm planning on finishing up this book tonight before bed, so I'll give you guys an update in the morning. And then I'm probably, like I said, going to start Peg and Rose Stir Up Trouble, just because that one is such a fun one. And this book is definitely, it will give a warning. Like I say in general, always, you know, if you're sensitive to anything, look up trigger warnings for thrillers because they can be pretty dark. But this one does deal with several pretty in-depth autopsies because one of the characters is a medical examiner, so of course you're getting that detail with like the medical information, so if that's something that would be a little too much for you, keep that in mind with this one. But otherwise, really enjoying this. I don't have a solid theory. Well, okay, that's a lie. I do actually have one suspect, but I don't have a really strong theory yet of how everything is going to come together, so I'm very curious to see what this last like 100 pages is going to reveal and how it's going to come together. Alright guys, I also wanted to share a little library book haul. So I had some library book haul holds today and I'm very excited to show you guys these. I also picked up, we went grocery shopping the other day and look what I found. For those of you who are here for Summerween, you might remember I had the little Clue, like little magazine like this that was a Clue board game themed puzzle book. And I've been looking to see if they have more of those ever since then, and I haven't found one, but this is a 2-minute mini mystery, Murder and Mayhem. So there's 40 cases, and each one is like a short story that you read, and then it has some kind of conclusion that you can try to solve. So I haven't tried any yet. They are broken into the advanced, intermediate, and the beginner cases. So I'll start with beginner. We'll see how beginner it really is, but I'm really excited. So book-wise, I'm very excited. So we have 2 thrillers, I think, and then 5 cozies. I'm so excited. And we have some great seasonal cozies. It's gonna be good. So I actually have 2 books from Ellie Alexander. So we have one from the Bake Shop Mystery. This is the next one in the series. I think it's book 12, I want to say, is where I'm at in the series. And this is called Mocha She Wrote, which is one I've been meaning to get to for a long time because I love the title. I adore the title. And the colors on this, beautiful. So absolutely gorgeous. If you do see this on any of the covers, it's just because I'm blocking the name of my library because it has my town's name in it, but how stunning. I love the artwork on these covers. Absolutely beautiful. And I'm excited for this. So this one does take place during summer, so I kind of missed the optimal season for this. But like the other Bake Shop Mysteries, it does take place in Ashland, Oregon, which has a very gorgeous town. This is one of my favorite settings for a cozy mystery series. Ellie Alexander is a whiz with settings. It's just incredible. The seasons and holidays, the way she incorporates it in every book. Oh, I love it. But our main character is Jules, and she has returned home in the first book. She used to work as like a pastry chef on a cruise ship, which I think is cool. But she returns home to Ashland, Oregon to work in her family's bake shop, which is Tort. And in this book, she has helping one of her employees, Andy, who is like their star barista at Tort, and he's actually entering a competition. Unfortunately, during the competition, one of the judges dies while holding Andy's drink, and Andy is now a suspect in the case, so of course Jules gets involved. Love this. My favorite part of this series is definitely the seasons and the holidays and the setting. Like, that's where I think this shines so much. But I would read this series in order for sure, because the characters develop so much throughout this book. Like, these characters are not stagnant. Not even the sub-characters, like side characters, the employees in the shop, they all get their own subplots, and she keeps track of them all, and it's just glorious. I highly recommend it. It's so cozy. In fact, if you're looking for more cozy recommendations, check out this big recommendation. I recommended over, I think, 35 fall cozy reads above, and I'll link there, so definitely check that out because I had so many good ones in that, and this was one of the series I think I mentioned. The other one that I'm so excited, my library did not used to have this, but it recently got this, and this is actually Ellie Alexander's other series. This is the first book in the series, I think. It's called Death on Tap, and this is, which one is it called? I think it's called the Sloane Cross series, after the main character, but this takes place in Leavenworth, Washington, and she is basically a brewing master. Now, I don't actually drink alcohol, so I don't know anything about brewing, if I'm being honest, but I love Ellie Alexander's writing, so I'd pretty much read any theme that she writes. So I'm interested to see, maybe I'll learn something, I don't know. But the main character's name is Sloane, and she basically walks in on her husband having a time with another woman, and walks out on him, and she ends up, I think, starting her own brew house in Leavenworth, Washington, and establishing her own life. And of course there's some kind of mystery, so I'm very excited. Look how picturesque this town is. I think it's supposed to look like Bavaria, like Germany, I want to say. I also like how it says that she's the region's first female brewmaster, and she's expanding a family business by creating new handcrafted German ales. So that's sounds interesting. Again, I do not know much about the topic, but I love her writing, so I'm sure this mystery and the setting is going to be gorgeous. The next one I'm so excited for. So I recently read Dark Corners by Megan Golden, and this is actually book 2 in the Rachel Kroll series, and I adored it. It's one of the best thrillers I've read in a few months. Loved it. I actually recommended it in a thriller video I did recently, which I'll link above too. But there's a book 1 to that series, and that is The Night Swim. And a lot of you said this was an amazing book too, so I'm so excited. Our main character again is Rachel Kroll. She is this very well-known true crime podcaster, and basically in this one she gets sucked into this small town conspiracy where this like golden boy who's going to be like an Olympic swimmer or something is being accused of some types of assaults on women in the area, and Rachel is investigating, and she's also getting these letters about her own sister's drowning from like 25 years ago, and she's got to uncover some secrets with that as well. So I'm very excited. I really liked Rachel as a character, and I really loved Megan Golden's writing in the Dark Corners. I read some other books by her, but her writing shined so much more in Dark Corners. I'm so excited to see it in this book as well. Cannot wait. You know what I just realized? I think I checked out a book I've already read. But so I checked out 2 books from Laura Levine's Jane Austen mystery series, and one was Last Rites, and I realized I already read that, so we're gonna put that aside. But the one that I'm very excited to read is called Death of a Neighborhood Witch, and as you can tell, this is just perfect for this time of year. I mean, perfect. It's perfect. And I like this idea for this series because it actually takes place within Jane's neighborhood, so it's a little bit more small time. So Jane Austen is a freelance writer in the big city, and her cat Prozac. This is a very comedy heavy cozy mystery, so it's don't take anything seriously. Like it's comedic, it's very funny. So her cat Prozac actually ends up killing a neighbor's like pet bird, and the neighbor is understandably very upset, but the neighbor also has like a reputation for being very grumpy, not very well liked, and this neighbor ends up being murdered, and Jane is on the case. I cannot wait. This series is literally laugh out loud funny. It's one of the few series I've ever laughed out loud at. I cannot wait. You really fly through it. The books tend to be pretty short. This one's under 300 pages, but Laura Levine, her background is as a comedy writer, and it really shows. So the mysteries are always good in these, but I read it for the comedy because just the writing style, it's just hilarious. Jane definitely makes fun of herself and everybody else, so don't take it seriously. Again, it's very like comedy heavy. It's kind of the essence of the series, and I can't wait. And my personal favorite cozy mystery sidekick is Prozac the cat, because that cat has more personality than most humans in books, and I love it. So I cannot wait for this, and it's Halloween themed. This next one is by Sherry Lapina, and this is called Everyone Here Is Lying. And I actually have, I think I just finished one book by this author, and I did like it, but it wasn't like an all-time favorite, but I've heard so many good things I wanted to try another book, see what my thoughts were. And this premise basically is that we're in this very safe, family-friendly neighborhood. Our main character that we're kind of following, or like a central character, is Williams, and he's been having this affair, and it recently ended very badly at this motel. He returns home and he finds this 9-year-old daughter, Avery, there unexpected, and he's not happy to see her because he's obviously in a very bad mood, and later on she disappears, and her family's looking for her. They don't know what happened, so it's about a young girl's disappearance basically. So I'm excited for this. I'm curious. I like the cover for this. I think it's really pretty with the gradient and like the like ladder, like the rope ladder here. So excited for that one. And then last but certainly not least, this one was a recommendation from some of you guys, and this is by Annette Blair. This is called A Veiled Deception, a Vintage Magic Mystery. So if you've been watching my videos for a bit, you know that in recent, like the last month or so, I've been looking for a vintage clothing or just like a clothing boutique themed cozy mystery series that I love. I've read a couple and I found some that I like, but I haven't found like the one, like just makes my heart stop, that I just adore, and I really want like a fashion clothing. I'm like on this kick for this right now. So somebody recommended this, and this one looks so cute. Look at this cover. How, like, everything about this beautiful. The dress, the background, the font, everything about this. So our main character in this is Madeira Cutler, or Maddie as she goes by, and this is the first book in the series, and there is some supernatural elements which I'm excited for this time of year especially. But Maddie is basically gone back home where her sister is getting married. She's a bride-to-be. She's very excited, and Maddie is also working on opening a vintage clothing shop, which I'm excited to read about. But basically her sister's nemesis is found strangled with her sister's, like the bride-to-be's, veil. and her sister is now a suspect in the crime. So Maddie is now trying to clear her sister and her family's name while opening the vintage clothing shop, and she finds out that this wedding dress can actually talk to her. Like, I guess she has some kind of ability, magical ability with that. I'm not sure. I don't know how supernatural this is, like on a scale of 1 to 10, but we're gonna find out. And I love the cover for this so much. I can't wait. So thank you guys for the recommendations for those. I always appreciate when you guys recommend me books. I can't wait to try this book out along with the others, and I will give you guys an update in the morning on When I'm Dead. I'm feeling very optimistic so far. I really loved it, so I'm really excited to see and hope this one ends strongly. I feel like it's going to. It's going well. Good night. Good morning, guys. So we have some updates. So When I'm Dead by Hannah Morosi. I finished this last night, and wow, does the ending of this hit you like a punch to the gut? So the ending for this was hardcore. It was strong. It was a very good ending. I really liked how the author did take some time after like the finale to really wrap up things and kind of let you know where certain characters and things are. I really appreciate that when authors do it, because I want to know, I want to see the path the characters are going to be on after like the big events of the book. I liked the conclusion. I thought the mystery made a lot of sense. I thought the characters were really great. I'd say it's 4 stars for me. It's not an all-time favorite, but it's definitely one that I really enjoyed. I would recommend it if the plot sounds interesting to you, and I just really enjoyed it. I had a good time. I flew through it. I love the cover. The more I look at it, the more I love this cover. But I really did enjoy this, and the ending was definitely strong. It was pretty intense, pretty dark, so I was really happy to pick up Peg and Rose Stir Up Trouble last night. I got through the first like 50 or 60 pages, and then I got to about 100 something this morning, so I have a pretty good update. I'm over a third of the way in, and I just love this. I love this series. There's only one other book out, the first book in the series, and I really loved that. Then I've been waiting impatiently for this book, and I just love where this is going. I love Peg and Rose's characters. I love their interactions. They are so funny because of their different personalities, but they also like begrudgingly are working together and like learning to grow together, and I just love it. I like where the mystery is going with this. I like everything about this. It's so cozy. It's so delightful. I have a friend coming later today, so I'm actually gonna make some mac and cheese, baked mac and cheese, and this is one of my favorite dishes. This is one of my friend's favorite dishes that I make, one of my husband's favorite dishes, so I will take you along with me as well on that. But yeah, these are so far, we're having a good reading vlog so far. This is definitely, I could see this being a 5-star, and then this was just a really strong, fun thriller. Maybe not fun, very intense, I would say, but definitely like a very interesting read. So definitely would recommend if you like the concept for this, and this so far is just going swimmingly. guys, I'm here with a reading update. So I did finish Peg and Rose Stir Up Trouble, and as I guessed, this was a 5-star read. This was phenomenal. If you are a cozy mystery fan and you haven't read the Peg and Rose or the Senior Sleuth series, I highly recommend it. They are both such amazing, fleshed out characters, really interesting. I love their dynamics because they're very different individuals, but they're kind of coming together more and more begrudgingly. They're developing a true friendship. I do recommend reading these in order. And also, if you're a pet lover, there is both an adorable cat, which Rose has, and then Peg is a dog judge and like professional breeder, so she breeds specifically standard poodles, but there's lots of dog talk because sometimes you'll be following her as she goes to the like dog shows and things. So if you like dogs, lots of that, which I personally really love because I love dogs. And this was just really good. The mystery was solid. I didn't actually guess it till right before the ending happened, so the author really got me on that. And the writing style and the characters for this just really shine. I really love this series, and I'm so sad there's only 2 books out. This is the 2nd book, so I'm caught up on the series, and I'm really sad now because I love this. I love it so much and I just want more. So hopefully more's coming soon. But I highly recommend this series. You really can't go wrong with it. It's just such a heartwarming, amazing, fun mystery. Great characters, great development. I just love it. Everything about it. Excellent. And then I did start In the Study with the Wrench by Diana Peterfront. So this is the 2nd book in the Clue young adult mystery series, and I am loving this. I really loved the 1st book in the series, In the Hall with the Knife, and it's going so well. I'm really flying through it. I am halfway through it. Since it is young adult, it's a little bit, there's probably like, I think there's like fewer words per page, so it's a little bit easier to fly through, but I'm really enjoying this. You definitely want to read these in order as well. The characters each of them have their own unique subplots, and they keep it really, like, you can really follow them quite well. There's 6, main characters you're following, part of the Clue group, or the murder crew as they're kind of called in this, and each of them have their own unique subplots. Like, some of them have like a secret identity, or like different secrets they're hiding, or this or that. I love it. So I really recommend this series. I think it's a really unique, fun series. I personally love Clue, so this just makes my heart really happy. And so far, I don't actually have a solid suspect for this. I figured the first one out more easily, like earlier on, so I don't know who. I don't really have a strong suspect yet for this. I don't know. So we'll see. Also, look how pretty. How pretty is the cover here? Like, look at that. So, I just love that. It's so pretty. I love the font they chose for that. The reflective quality. It's so pretty. I just finished In the Study with the Wrench, and this went places I didn't expect, and the mystery for this one was really good, so I'm going to tell you about it. My little pal Winston over here. Does he not look like a French bulldog, kind of? I think he does. He's like one of those like squishmallows or something. I saw him in a grocery store and I had to take him home, so yeah. Because he's so soft. Anyways, so Winston's gonna chill with us back here, but basically, wow, the mystery for this one went up several levels from the last one. Like I said, I liked In the Hall with the Knife, the 1st book in the Clue mystery series. I really enjoyed it. I loved the characters. I just had such a good time with it. I mean, just so fun, and it's a little more, the characters and stuff are a little more wholesome. It's a young adult series, so everything's a little bit more like, clean and stuff versus like a thriller, of course. But I just had such a fun time. I loved the theme with the Clue characters. I loved how the author brought them to life in this series. I liked the, boarding school, kind of dark academia feels that this book series has. But the only thing that kind of with the 1st book was that I ended up calling the mystery pretty easily. And that's fine, it's a young adult series. I'm not expecting it to be maybe as complicated of a mystery. That's completely fine. But this one, the mystery got me. The ending of this, I actually was reading it and my mouth actually went, when I read part of it, I was like, no. And the connections were made and my brain just went, Yeah, so I really enjoyed this. I'm so glad I picked this up. I need to purchase the third book in this series because my library does not have it, so I'm hoping maybe I'll get it for Christmas or something, but I can't wait to finish this trilogy off. The characters are just so endearing. This book definitely ended on a really interesting note. I don't know where the third book is going. I'm very curious to find out and to also wrap up some of the ongoing mysteries of the mysterious Blackbrook Academy that were like the setting for this series is at. So I'm really excited, guys. I think this is a really fun series. If you like, if you like reading from multiple points of views, if you are a fan of the Clue board game, if you like young adult mysteries, I think this is just a really fun time. I had a really good time with it. Just fun, easy to fly through, but just so enjoyable, and I just love all the characters. Every time I think I know who my favorite character is, it ends up changing. Like, I have a top 3 for sure, but it keeps shifting. So the author does a really good job. I'm really curious to see how the characters will end up in the third and final book of the trilogy. So that is my update for this. I'm going to go ahead and start that thriller tonight, and I will give you an update in the morning. Alright, reading update on I'm Not Done With You Yet by Jessie Q. Sutanto. So far, really enjoying this. I'm about 61 pages in. There's about 330 some pages in total, so not too far in, but so far I'm enjoying the writing style. We are flipping back and forth between multiple timelines, including like a childhood perspective, a like college years perspective, and then present days, like in the future, where I think she's more like in her 30s, our main character. And I'm finding Jane to be an interesting character. She identifies as a sociopath, so she's very targeted with her like social interactions. The way she approaches things is a little more unique, and she definitely has a way that she kind of works people, which is interesting to kind of observe and to be like in the head of, since that's not how I personally approach social interactions. And I'm really enjoying this. I don't know exactly where this is going, and we're kind of looking at her and Thalia's years at college where they first met, but we don't know why they don't know each other or aren't close in the future. So there's going to be some kind of, event or something this is leading up to. I don't know what that's going to be yet. I'm really curious, really enjoying this. It's definitely very brutal with some of the descriptions and language, so there is quite a bit of that. I mean, which is typically to be expected with a thriller, I would say, but this one's pretty strong with some of the messaging and stuff, but I think it fits the character well. I think it's well written so far, so I'm really excited to see where the plot goes for this. And that is our update for this. So I have some reading updates for you. I finished I'm Not Done With You Yet by Jessie Q. Sutanto. I really loved this. I thought the writing was really captivating. I thought the thriller was like fast-paced, like really good pacing for this. The ending for this, I called like, I'm not it's like I'm simultaneously surprised and shocked, but not at the same time, because it made so much sense, but it was still such a good reveal. Like, it really caught me off guard, parts of it, and I just really enjoyed the characters, even though they were all mostly very unlikable characters, I would say. Overall, there wasn't as much to be sympathetic about as some characters, but I just really enjoyed getting to know them. I liked the dynamics. I thought the author did a good job of going back and forth between, we were reading from 3 different timelines, primarily her college days and the present days as an adult, and then the occasional flashbacks to her childhood. So I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really well done. I'm just becoming a huge fan of this author's work. I think Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murder, that'll be hard to beat. This one though is a strong 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. I think it's her only thriller out. I really want to get to Dial A for Aunties next because she has another cozy mystery like series. I'm hoping Vera Wong becomes the series. I'm really hoping it does because I'm gonna riot if it doesn't. It's so good. I want another book so badly. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. So I definitely recommend this. And then I did start Witch Trial by Kate Conte. I'm on page 51 and there's a little bit over 300 pages or so. And so far I'm really enjoying this. Violet is a great character. She's very empathetic. She's really trying to learn more about her witchy side because it sounds like in the first book as an adult that's when she first learned about being having witch ancestry and being able to access these powers. So she's still very new to it. That's really interesting to see. I like her mom is a very interesting, complex, layered character. I'm very interested in learning more about her. I'm liking the family history we're learning about this. I'm liking seeing her kind of experiment with things. I want to learn more about Xander, her familiar, but I'm really enjoying this so far. It's very interesting. The magic itself is unique and interesting, and we haven't really got too much into a mystery element quite yet, but I think I have an idea of where it might be going. I don't know. So far though, I'm enjoying the supernatural witchy vibes. I think it's really cute. I think it's cozy. I think the writing is very enjoyable to read. I think the descriptions are well written and interesting, and really I have a very clear image of everything that's going on when I'm reading. So I'm really engaged with this. I'm looking forward to reading more of this tonight. And yeah, that is that so far. I can't get over the cover though either. It's too cute. It's so cute. So I'll give you guys an update hopefully in the morning with hopefully a big update on this one. Hi guys! So it's been a little bit. It's been 2 days. I hit a wall with this last book and I'm really bummed about it, but I'm DNFing it. And I couldn't figure out what my wall was for the last 2 days, which is why there's been such a delay. Basically, what I realized is that I think the writing is beautiful. I think the characters are awesome. I think the magic system and the world building, because it takes place in our world, a real, real world modern times, but there is kind of a witchy secret locations and stuff. It's really interesting. I really like it. But this doesn't really feel like a mystery to me. I got about 100 pages in and the book is 327 pages, so almost a third of the way through and we still don't have a mystery. And while I think the magic system and everything is cool, I was going into this looking for a mystery, and this just feels like more of a book about a witch in modern times, and she's kind of discovering herself and her powers and running this shop, and there's a splash of a mystery. I have an idea. I'm pretty sure I know maybe who's going to die, or I have an idea of where the author's going, but I'm not that engaged with it because I really wanted the mystery. And I feel like if I'm basically a third of the way into a book that is called a full moon mystery, I should have some mystery a little bit sooner. That's just my preference. I feel like if you are someone who's looking for more of a cozy fantasy with a splash of mystery, you would really like this, because I think the writing's beautiful. I think the characters are great. I think the world building is super interesting. I just wanted more mystery. So that is the update for that. Thank you guys so much for joining me with this fall reading vlog. Please let me know what you are currently reading, and if you like it or not, would you recommend it? I love hearing what you guys are reading, and I will see you guys soon. If you aren't subscribed, please do hit subscribe. I post new videos every week on this channel, all in the book niche and cozy living niche. So if you are a fan of mysteries especially, I do a ton of those on this channel. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!